Welcome back to Love Sex LA Unfiltered. Today, we have a very special guest on. She is an extremely talented LA-based artist, and she's going to kind of give us a sneak peek here into her new album that's coming out in October called Cinematic. Please welcome Lily Kincade.
Hello. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I feel like we've been talking about this forever.
And we finally were like, let's do it.
And it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Because you have your album coming out.
And we're matching.
Like, this was unplanned.
Same heels. We got the green on.
I love it. I think it means something.
It does.
Right?
Very calming.
Yes.
It's very cinematic. I'm wearing a green dress on the cover. So I was okay, I'll wear green. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I wore this because I'm like, I need something cinematic.
It's like that vibe. It gives you, I don't know, it's like.
Green, something about it.
It gives like timeless, classic, elegant. Yeah.
Exactly. We love it. Like,
we love
telepathic, right? We were in sync. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited you're here today. I'm so excited to talk about your new music. I always start out every episode with a little game called Date or Ghost.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me based on that scenario if you would date that person or ghost that person.
Okay.
Okay? Let's get into it. Okay. They repost your song without tagging you.
I would date that person. I'm like, you better be a fan. So there we go. They're sharing it.
That counts.
Free marketing. Yes.
There you go.
I don't need them to tag me.
Yeah.
They can post my song. Yes, there we go.
I love it. I love it. We're dating. Okay. They invite you to a secret show at the Roxy, and then at the door, they tell the person at the door that you're with the band.
I feel like that's like if I was on the guest list.
Yeah.
Maybe, but that wouldn't be like a date to me. I'm like, that's like a friend. Like we're hanging.
Yeah.
That's not a date, you know?
Yeah. Like it's not even a date.
I'm like, it has to be abundantly clear that it's like a date. Otherwise I'm like, we're not dating. Like, no, that's what friends do, you know?
You almost like just took their power from them. Like, you're not even going to ghost them. You're not going to date them. We're friends.
No, it's just like, we're friends.
We're friend zoning.
Yeah, friend zoning.
I love that. Maybe that'll be the next game, friend zoning.
Ooh,
I love it.
That's a good, add that in there. That's a good, I
love it. Okay. He wants to be exclusive, but he doesn't want to put a label on it.
No. There's no. Ghost.
Right.
It's just like, I don't understand. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Also too, it's like, what's the point then?
Right. There isn't
like for either person.
Literally.
Anyways.
We're ghosting.
Crazy times out here.
It really is. It really is. Right? It's insane. Okay. They introduce you as a friend who writes.
Who would I be introduced to?
Like they're friends. You guys go out like somewhere. You're at Barney's Beanery in West Hollywood. And they're like, she's just a friend who writes. We write together.
Well, if they call me a friend, I'd be like, okay, we're friends.
Yeah.
Like we're not dating then.
Exactly. You just go flirt with someone.
Yeah. Also, if they don't respect you, I'm like, they have to like respect your craft. Like I'm a big Swiftie. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan.
Are you? I just had another big Swiftie in here.
I'm a big Swiftie, and I was watching Taylor Swift go on Travis and Jason Kelce's podcast, and he is just such a fan. He was like always like hyping her up, like I admire it, and I'm like, that's what you need. You need somebody who supports you in your goals instead of like having you as like almost an accessory.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, that's so true. Yeah, when I was watching that, it's so funny. I just did like a whole episode with like this major Swiftie, my friend who came and like we were unpacking that.
We're aligned.
Literally, this was meant to be. And I was like, when you watch Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift, you're like, he's enamored with her.
Yeah.
He's like her hype man. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
You know? That's the way it should be.
And that's what we need.
And
look, that's proof that, there's guys like that out there.
Exactly.
So don't settle.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to go to a couple NFL games, right?
Yeah. I always say this too, like something I've learned is you have to be doing your purpose and people will find you along the way. Like Taylor Swift
100%.
was performing. She was living her purpose instead of like changing who you authentically are for somebody. Because then it's like, well, how do you know if they actually love you and support you for who you are if you've never shown them that side, or if you've always like made yourself small or like not talked about your goals or what you really love.
Yes, exactly. You got to put yourself first.
Yes.
And, you're going to attract the right people 100%.
Yeah.
And not force anything that isn't meant to be.
Exactly.
Totally. I'm right with you, girl. Okay. They ask your parents for your favorite love song to surprise you with a cover of it.
That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. I feel like, yeah, that's cute.
It's cute, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's not maybe like after like date 1. Then it might be too
No,
much,
no,
right?
no, no. Then I'd be like, that's creepy behavior.
Very,
Like,
very
that's
creepy.
too stalkery. I'd be like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's like things shouldn't be too fast or too slow. It's like
Yeah.
things should be
in moderation.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. Okay, that was our last one. Those
Yay,
were fun.
that was
Those
good.
were fun.
That was good. That was
Those
good.
were fun. Yeah.
I love that.
I do too. I do. I think we had like the same answer. So
Yeah.
we're aligned. We're totally aligned. Okay. I want to get right into it though, talking about your new music that's coming out because I listened to the album and I love the songs. And I have a favorite.
Yay.
I have a favorite. Maybe two favorites actually.
Okay.
But I want to get into, so your album Cinematic is coming out in October. What's the official date again?
Cinematic is coming out October 24th. I'm very excited. Yeah, it feels like it's far, but I'm like, no, it will be here before we know it.
It's gonna like all of a sudden show up and you're like, wait, what? Like we
Yeah.
were just talking about this on Love, Sex, LA Unfiltered,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So tell me about your process creating the music that's on the album and kind of like your inspiration that went into it.
Yes, okay. So Cinematic is the story. It's an album, like I'll give a little sneak peek of some of the lyrics, but the chorus lyrics in Cinematic are so cinematic, over dramatic. They don't write them like the way they write your first love. And so I feel like that song kind of summed up this whole chapter of, going through my first love and heartbreak and all these emotions. Because music is crazy, and that's what I love about it is, I treat music as like it's almost my personal diary. I'm writing exactly what I'm going through it, and it creates like a little time capsule. But yeah, Cinematic, the song, and then the album as a whole are just kind of sum up all of those feelings, which are good and they're bad and they're crazy and they're happy and you're sad, and it's kind of all over the place, which to me like means so cinematic. Like it's just one of those where it's almost you can't really duplicate those types of like first relationships and things.
Totally. So this was inspired by a first love.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24. Okay, so this was
Yeah.
your first love. Was this a recent thing?
No, I mean, I started writing the earliest song I wrote when I was 20, and then I finished the last song at the end of last summer when I was 23.
Wow, so this has been like a process, like over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that. I totally resonate with that because
Yeah.
I'm a writer also. And like, it's funny, I'm sure you understand, like you look back at that version of yourself when you first started writing this, right? When you
Yeah.
were 20 years old and you were a totally different person probably, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I love that. Do you have a favorite song on the album?
I mean, I love the title track.
I do
love the
too.
title track. It's so like people like describe the album. I'm like it's just so cinematic. Like it bundles up all of the emotions, but they're all really good. They're like my children. Like I can't, everyone is like is a different story. I also, I love Still in August too. Like that's a really nostalgic one for me. Kind of just depends on my mood. I'm like, I like them all. I love lyrics that tell a story. I'm like,
Totally.
it can be any mood, but I love something that like transports me. I want to like listen to it, close my eyes, and I want to like see the song, if that makes sense.
I love that. I love that. So when you were creating this, like how did you come up with the concept cinematic that is like representing this first love of your life?
Well, okay. So usually I say an album concept naturally kind of forms. Like I'm a big Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey. Like I grew up on them.
I love that.
Those are like my two favorite artists of all time. And I feel so lucky and so grateful because I got to learn from them. And I was always so fascinated with the world that they created. Like every album had a color scheme. Like the photos were different. The music videos were kind of a theme. Even the lyrics and the production. So like going into music and, once I decided, okay, I'm going to pursue this, I'm going to keep going until I make it work. I always knew that I wanted each album to represent like a little chapter of my life visually and sonically. And it's not that I go into writing being like, here's the theme, but I kind of like will write a little bit based on whatever I'm feeling and it will naturally emerge. So I'd written Cinematic, naturally just kind of emerged, and then I ended up writing Mr. Hollywood and having all these lyrics, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's when I knew Cinematic was the title, because I was like, oh my gosh, it ties together.
Yeah.
Of course it's that. Like it's, I'm always so fascinated. I moved to LA when I was 14, so like even growing up here, I was so like fascinated by it, and just, I don't know, I feel like there's so much history and like stories and drama in Hollywood, and especially with like, old Hollywood actresses and actors, that theme naturally kind of came about, and I was like, it's perfect.
I love that. I love that because it just sets such a cool visual. like the whole concept of like, it's very nostalgic, like you said.
Yes.
And I think that was the cool thing too about like Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey. Like you said, it was more than just music.
Yeah.
They set a tone and they created almost like a movie, like with every album they put out, right?
Exactly.
So I love that. I feel like you really emulated that and created that in such a cool way for this album. That I love it. I love it.
Yay.
So how hands-on are you with your music? So you wrote all these songs.
Yes.
Every single one, like
Yes.
literally by yourself, like you wrote these.
I have some co-writers
You
for
have some
some of the
co-writers,
songs.
okay.
But I'm very hands-on with my music. It's like it's an extension of me, which sounds kind of crazy when you think about it, but because it is. I always say like I probably wouldn't just sing songs if I didn't write them, because what I love is like the story that it makes you feel. Because I was somebody who, growing up, I felt like I had to be there for all of my friends. Like I was kind of like the mom friend. Like I was very responsible, and I felt like I had nobody to tell my emotions to. So I, started playing piano when I was very little, and then guitar. So I would just like talk to my instruments.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds weird, but it gave me like this place where I didn't feel judged. I could kind of say whatever I was feeling, even if it was silly or even if it was stupid. Like, why am I upset over this? The music was like a safe place. And so through my writing, it's kind of like, I always say like I write the things that, I'm embarrassed to talk about or I don't want to talk about or that are hard to put into words.
Yeah.
So I'm very hands-on. I write all of my songs, and then sometimes I'll have amazing co-writers. I always say like on every project, there's at least one song 100% written by me, because for some reason people still don't believe that, females in music can write their own music, but we can. So so a third of
100%.
this album is like 100% self-written, and then had some of my amazing friends on a couple of the tracks write with me, which is fun.
That is so cool. So, okay, which song on this album was 100% written by you?
We have Let Me Leave,
Okay.
Got Old. There's a song called Crime Scene with No Evidence that I wrote.
love
There's
the
a
name.
song called Piano at Parties, which I love. I think that's all of them. Am I missing any? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
That is
Yeah.
so cool, though. Have you ever dabbled in producing at all?
So I do a little bit. Like I
Yeah.
have my little setup. I love writing, or I'll like plug in my omnichord or my guitar and
Yeah.
my keyboard, and like I use it as almost like a jumping off point.
Yeah.
And then with whatever producer I'm working with, then we'll like expand it out. Because I was like, okay, that's not producing necessarily isn't my gift.
Yeah.
But I always encourage people, learn everything
Yeah.
so you know how to communicate with those people, and then focus on what you're good at. Because like you can do everything, but then you're just gonna be good at everything.
Yeah.
Versus like fixating on what you're really gifted at and making that like amazing.
Yeah.
But still like do the work to learn how to communicate in the other areas.
Totally. I feel like that's so cool, though. I feel like you're almost like a one-woman show. Like you have obviously people that are like doing other
Yeah.
things, but you take pride so much in what you're doing and have such a vision that you kind of have your hands in all of it, which is so cool and admirable. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. So, okay, we were kind of talking about, so back to you talking to your instruments, because I fucking love
Yes.
that, okay? Like, because we were talking about, before we got on this, you're an only child, too.
Yes.
So do you feel like that kind of played into it also? Like almost like you, like your instruments, your music is like, it's like therapy. It's like the
Yeah.
person you vent to, right?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't have siblings, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to my piano.
Yeah.
And growing up, like, obviously you don't really see it in the moment, but
Yeah.
looking back, 1000%, because I also am a huge reader. Like, I love books.
Yeah.
My parents used to take away my books.
Oh my gosh, that was your punishment?
Yeah, because, well, also too, like, I would read them in the middle of the night, and they're like, it's 3 a.m., like, you should be asleep, and I'm like, I need to finish this book. Like, I love the stories.
Yeah.
Like, my brain was always just, like, fascinated by, like, storytelling. I always say, like, I just love telling stories, and, like, obviously with my music, they're experiences that happen to me, but still I love to tell it in a way that, transports the listener into that story, into that world. And so I think reading was a big component in shaping at least how I view songwriting and like how I want my songwriting to come out or like to feel when people listen to it.
Yeah, that's so cool though. I love that. Like I feel like you're a storyteller, and like after listening to your music, I get the sense that you really know how to like take a story off the page and like you like evolve it into like a song that even if someone hasn't gone through the specific scenario you're writing about, it's like you create it in a way where it's universal and people can relate to it, which I love.
Yes, thank you.
I love that. I love it.
Because we all go through the same emotions. That's what, at the end of the day, all the songs are about the same thing. If you really think about it, we're all human. Everybody wants to be fully loved and fully known, and everything else stems from that. Like, I always tell people, I'm like, we're so much more alike than we are different. And it's honestly in the things that you think are normal that make you relatable to everybody else.
100%. 100%. Do you feel like this album, I know it was kind of inspired by a first love. Do you feel like this album is your first love in a way, like when it comes to music?
Yeah, I would say it is because it's like this is something, and I've already cried happy tears, not like sad tears, but happy tears, but also like wow, it's just crazy because it's like there's a saying where it's like you have forever to make your first album and then you have a year to make your second because then you're worried, okay, I have to keep going and like I don't know, but there's something very sweet and special about it because it's like all of this hard work and it can be easy to diminish it and be like, well, there's people doing this. Like, it's just this album, it's independent. But you know what? No, that's a huge deal. You're putting art into the world that didn't exist before.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I'm just very proud. I like think about my younger self, not to get too sentimental, but I think about my younger self and I'm like, you know what? I'm proud that that I kept going, even if it didn't look exactly how I had planned it when I was 16 or something,
Isn't that funny when you look back and you're like, this didn't go as planned, but it actually went better.
And it always is. That's what I say. I'm like, it always, like you will not see it in the moment. But that's because if you did see it, like you wouldn't, I always say like when you do something, you should feel a little scared. If you just feel like normal about it or like no feelings at all, you're not growing. Like, do you really even want it if you're not a little like nervous or excited?
Yeah. Exactly. You have to be a little nervous.
Yeah.
You have to feel like, okay, I hope I cringe a few people. I want to be a little nervous going into this because otherwise, like, you're not creating the right thing.
Exactly. And I'm always like, life is long, but we don't know how long. So it's like, be smart and invest your time wisely and hang out with people that build you up and want to see you become the best version of yourself. But also, too, don't hold yourself back and like say you'll do everything tomorrow because like we do not know how much time we have.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. I love that. Okay, so the album is very nostalgic, like we were talking about, obviously very cinematic.
Yes.
And it has this old Hollywood aesthetic to it. What inspired the old Hollywood aesthetic? It almost reminds me kind of like you're a Swiftie, Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams. That's like the vibe.
I love 1989. Okay, this is crazy, but I feel like everybody has their like kind of things that shape them. And it's usually right around when that like, this is what I'm going to do clicks for you. So I remember I was in 8th grade, 2014. And I had obviously been writing songs since I was very little. And around that time, I was finding my voice, finding your writing. It takes a while to like find your sound. And I had this voice teacher who had me sing a bunch of these different songs and kind of like opened my eyes to all of these different artists. And it was all of the albums around that time that super inspired me, I feel like. And it was like 1989. It was Halsey's EP. I remember I didn't have Spotify. I was using Pandora and I would like keep shuffling to try to get to like the songs I loved.
Yeah.
It was like Banks' Goddess album
Love Banks.
that I love. It was like Lana Del Rey, Born to Die, Ultraviolence. It was what else did I love? I loved Zella Day's first album, Kicker.
Love Zella Day.
So good.
Oh my
so
gosh.
good. But all of those things like so shaped me. And also too, growing up in the Midwest, like I guess Midwest. Yeah, I'm from Kansas City. So I always like in my head it was always like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to Hollywood. Like I feel like when you're not from LA and it's so fortunate to like have that experience of like, wow, like you see it with starry eyes, even though it's like, okay, a place is just a place. It's like the people and the memories there that make it. There is something magical knowing that, okay, here's where they shot this movie or like, here's where these stars were. Like, it is really cool to have that. And also, like, I love vintage clothes. That's like a whole side thing. I've been collecting vintage clothes since I was like 16.
I love
that's where
it.
all my money goes. That's where all my money goes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But I love it because I'm like, oh my gosh, it has a story. See, everything that has a story. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Somebody's worn this dress and like they fell in love in this dress. Like I have a couple of vintage wedding dresses.
Oh my gosh,
because I'm like,
obsessed.
This is so cool. Like
that's so cool. Have you ever like incorporated any of that into your music videos or anything that?
Yeah, well, I've worn a lot of things like in shoots and stuff, and because I'm always like, I just love how when things are one of a kind and when things are special, I'm like, I love making moments special. Like I usually carry around birthday candles with me. This is like a fun Lily Kincade fact in my purse because like sometimes whenever I'm with friends and we have something that we can put a candle in, like ice cream or like a little dessert, I'm like, let's celebrate. Let's put the candle in because why not?
Why not?
Because life is special and we have to celebrate it.
You have to celebrate, even for no reason, whatever. Yeah. I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with the vintage wedding dresses. That is so
because they're so
cute.
Cool. I just feel like everything vintage was just like, it was handmade. Like I have so many dresses where it literally is like, has a little special thing sewn in that's like handmade for so-and-so by so-and-so. And I'm like,
there's like a story there.
Yeah. And like the care and quality that people put into things. I'm like, we need to bring that back.
Right.
In every area of our life.
I agree. So, okay. with the aesthetic being like old Hollywood, is there like an old Hollywood movie that kind of inspires you or like you emulated the aesthetic of this album off of? Or is it kind of just like you wanted to go like overall like old Hollywood?
It's kind of like overall.
Yeah.
I mean, very cinematic. Like, obviously, I love all of the classic, like, old Hollywood film stars. So anything like Rita Hayworth and, of course, Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly and all of these people, like, I kind of just loved it all. And like Judy Garland, like I remember being from Kansas, I'm like, oh my God, Dorothy, like she's from Kansas. I remember watching that as a child like so many times.
Yeah.
And that always like inspired me too. Like just having these like classic, I just love when things look classic and timeless.
Yeah.
Like I love it when things feel that, you know, you could watch it 50 years ago and you can watch it probably 10 years from now and it still holds up because it's not chasing something. It's just confident in the moment and in who they are and in what the story is, not trying to like make it a copycat of something else.
Timeless. Totally
timeless.
That's so, I love that. That's like a good motto to have, right?
Timeless.
Be timeless.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, and you are an independent artist.
Yes.
Okay, so what made you want to continue being like an independent artist? Like, is that something that you're like, I want to maintain creative control of everything I'm putting out there? Like, what is your like favorite part about being an independent artist, and what makes you want to continue down that path?
I would say that I love being an independent artist because to me, the most valuable thing I have is like the songs and the storytelling.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything to come between that. So
Yeah.
I know one day in the future, like obviously, as we grow and get bigger, as we expand our goals until we're selling out arenas, performing, obviously I'll have more leverage and I'll be able to build my team. But I've just been very intentional from the beginning. And I think growing up in LA, you start to see that. Like you just realize that, you know, you really need to vet who you are having join your team, just like you would with your life. Like you vet the people you're dating, you vet your friends, like vet the people that are working with you, because especially when it comes to things that are like music, and we saw this with like Taylor Swift re-recording all of her things. It's like,
which was so cool.
Yeah, a lot of things you can't duplicate. And so I think that I've always known that I wanted to have creative control. I love having a vision, and I also just I wanted it to feel very personal to the fans, and I love being able to do things like that, where I'm able to share a song and nobody's mad at me, or I can leak a song if my fans want it or something, and have those cool experiences without being worried that like I'm gonna get in trouble or something.
I love that. I feel like no one could put you in a box too. You know what I mean?
Like I want to do so many different things.
Yeah. I love that. That's so cool. So do you eventually want to get signed? Like, is that something that's a goal of yours? Or do you like, I want to be independent. Like I want to make my own music and just keep growing, and my fandom keep growing with me in that way?
Well, eventually as you grow, you do have to bring people on. It's like if you want to scale, if I want to do these big tours, I'm going to need a whole band. I'm going to need a tour manager. I'm going to need all these people. And so like the mindset is, it's like, do what you do really well and you'll find other people. Like one of my main producers, shout out to Kyle from Nashville. He produced 13 out of the 14 tracks on this album and my other 2 EPs. And I met him through one of my other friends, but you know, it just happened like that, where he's a really great producer. I was a really good writer. I was looking for a producer, and we just worked together. And it's like over time, you slowly build these relationships. And I always say, like, never be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, never be afraid. True. Like, people will DM me and be like, how do I find a producer for my music, or how do I put it out there? I'm like, post your videos online. Like, you have to be willing to be vulnerable, and people will find you. Like, you have to do the thing that's scary and be like, hey guys, like I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for this. Like, we're all so embarrassed and stuck in our heads, but it's not that serious.
It's not that serious. And I think we were talking about it before we were on here. Like, no one's thinking about you that much.
Yeah.
Like, just do your thing.
Just do it.
And put it out there. And it can be scary. It can be so scary, because I know people like fear like rejection, or like, oh my God, I'm going to put this video up and what if it doesn't get views, whatever it is. But once you do it, you realize like so much of it's in your head.
Yeah.
You know? And I think if you keep going and you're consistent with it, whether it's music or whatever it is, you know?
It's consistency.
It's consistency.
I've realized that. It's consistency. Like, you just have to keep going. You have to keep, like, it is the 10,000 hours. It's so true. And it's consistency, and it's also like the dedication of it. That's why I say, like, you know, if you're going to do something that you really love. Like, don't do it because it's trendy. Don't do it because it's cool or you think you can make money. Like, people that look at musicians like, oh, you probably do this because you want money and followers. I'm like, no, why would I ever choose this career if I was like, I just want to be famous? Like, there's probably other ways I could be famous versus doing this. It's like, no, you do it because it's almost, I always say, like, I never chose music. You kind of are born with it, but I chose to pursue it.
Yeah.
And when I made that decision, It was when I moved to LA when I was 14. I gave up going to normal high school, gave up going to like a normal college. I was doing online school and I was writing. So since I was 14, so about 10 years, I've been in writing sessions, training, like writing horrible songs so I could eventually like build up my skills to write good ones. But you know, you have to make sacrifices. And it's always like you can sacrifice now or you can sacrifice later when it's harder and there's, you know, more things on the stake. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have family you have to take care of. And so you can always go back. You can always go back to school. You can always like decide you don't want to keep pursuing something, but you don't want to live with that regret. So just try it.
Totally.
I think we need to like let ourselves fail more.
Yes.
And not like just let yourself fail more.
I love that. I love that. We're clipping that for TikTok. Let yourself fail more. I love it.
It's true though. It's true. Like people are like so precious. I'm like, not everything's gonna work. I love reading. I love like memoirs and just like biographies and like learning about, you know, entrepreneurs and like how they had a million no's before they ever even got a yes. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to like, you're gonna have to be rejected. You're gonna have to fail. So you might as well just get it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's the best part of the story too, is like when you see someone that, you know, push past like the rejection or that breaking point where they're like, what am I even like doing? Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like part of it. I think it's part of the story, part of the fun. I think it's why you love storytelling too and why you're so good at what you do. Because you're like, you're here for the plot. You're gonna do it for the story.
And it's like eventually if you see it as everything is working for you, like if you have that mindset, everything is working for you. It's like I always say, like you either win or it's a lesson. Like you're always learning things too. I'm like, you have to go through things. If you want a hero story, you have to go through the hero's journey. Like if you want an amazing testimony of like I overcame this and now I do this, you're gonna have to overcome things. You're gonna have to be, you know, put in the fire if you want to come out on the other side and be refined. And so I just like remind myself of that in the moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? Or this is never gonna work, to like take a deep breath, journal, feel the feelings, and then like keep going. Don't let that hold you back.
I love that. That's such a good way to look at just life in general. And I always say, to get out of the fire, you have to go through the fire.
Yeah, you can't. Like, where else are you going to go? You're going to run backwards, and then you're eventually going to have to still go through the fire. And now you're more scared because you've been thinking about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh, my gosh. So, okay, tell us a little bit about Club Cinematic.
Club Cinematic. Okay, so I love talking to my fans. They name themselves the Kincadians. Some people don't know that. I'm like, no, back in 2021, when, you know, I released my second EP and my first EP, we were growing the fandom. They all voted and they had a bunch of names that they picked and Kincadians won. But I love getting to connect with my fans. Like, because truly, I'm like, it can be lonely. And that's one of the things about doing it independently. It's like, I don't have a whole team. Like I have like my producer, some of my friends that work on the songs, but everything else is like me doing it. People like will DM me and be like, is this really you? I'm like, yeah, girl, it's me. Like it's me with my phone. Like it's me doing it all. And so it's fun because I have somebody now to share it with. Like, and that's why I decided to, you know what, I'm going to show the process because I would have loved to watch that. And also too, because then in October when Cinematic finally comes out, it's almost like where like everybody's excited because they've seen the whole process, you know? We've done the photo shoots together. We've done the album behind the scenes together. And so I just love bringing people in because I also want to show people like, I always say like, I just want to inspire people that, you know, like you can do it too. Like it's going to take a lot of hard work and people have seen that. I've had some fans of mine that became fans back in 2020 when I released like my first song, Sweet and Low, and even them, like they're like, okay, now I graduated college. Or like some people who were like, I found your music in high school and right when I was graduating and now I'm graduating college. It's really cool to like have that relationship develop over time. Yeah. And I always say like, I just want people that listen to my music to be leaders in their own lives. So it's like if I can lead you and then you can listen to my music and it makes you feel inspired in your friend group or in your family, then go out into your world and be that leader for those people. Yeah. Like keep passing it on.
That's so awesome. So you've brought a lot of people along for your journey then, which is so cool and like such an intimate part, I feel like, about your whole process, which is so fun. And I'm sure it's fun for you.
Yeah, it's fun because otherwise I'm like, you go crazy. I'm like, I talk to myself so much throughout the day because I'm just thinking of, okay, I should do this idea. And so I'm like, you know what? It's fun bringing people in. Also, you never know what ideas people are going to have. Like, I think, yes, you need to make sure you cultivate your skills on your own, like still keep that up, but collaborate. Don't be afraid to collaborate with people or ask people for ideas because you never know how somebody's going to hear your idea and then have this amazing twist to it or this amazing, amazing version of it. And that's why I love co-writing too. Like I love writing by myself and I always will like write by myself as well, but I love co-writing because you never know like oh, they're going to hear, you have this idea, they heard it this way, and now the song is like 10 times better, and you would have never thought of that on your own.
That's so cool, though. And that's such a great way to look at it. I feel like you're a very positive person, too, when you look at life, like glass half full.
Yeah.
Which is like what you have to do,
Because
especially
we're
in this
alive.
business.
I'm like,
yeah.
and I'm the happiest people are often the saddest people. I always tell people this. I'm like, the reason I can feel so happy is because I feel emotions so intensely that like you feel the whole spectrum of them.
Yeah.
And like you can only see it so good when you've seen it so bad, but you don't have to learn. You can learn through other people's mistakes and other people's stories. That's what I tell people. I'm like, you do not have to learn everything the hard way.
Yeah.
Read books. That's one of my biggest tips. If you're somebody who's just like either too in your head or you are lost in life, read books, specifically fiction books, because they've done studies.
I love fiction.
They've done studies where it actually was like one of the best ways to increase your levels of empathy, because it's like
Wow.
engaging your eyes, like your physical mind and like your both sides of your brain, basically, when you're reading a book versus like watching a TV show or something.
Wow.
But reading a book like puts you in the character's shoes, and you can like feel all these different things and get different perspectives.
I love that. I feel like you absorb a lot of things. Like I feel like you
Yeah.
absorb and you're able to like
I'm always
resuscitate
learning.
it.
I'm
I
always
love
learning.
it.
I just love I love learning. I love people. I love the mind. I think it's very fascinating. And I think music to me is like what it ultimately comes down to, because I realize that not everyone's mind is like that.
Yeah.
But music is the universal language. That's why you can listen to something in a different language and like be crying because it just moved you so
Yeah,
much.
like evokes emotion.
Yeah, because it's a universal language. Like you feel it. There's frequencies, and those frequencies like can make you anxious or can make you at peace. Like they've done studies, and it's crazy, but it's like I just think everything ultimately comes down to like the music. So I'm like, everybody can feel it or like relate to it. So yeah.
Do you feel like there was ever a point in your career where you were like, ugh, like things aren't going the way like I want them to go, or this isn't looking how I thought it was going to, like where you were like second guessing almost like your career in a sense with singing?
It was never necessarily my career, but yeah, of course, it's a comparison. Anybody who says that they've never like been upset or gotten jealous by somebody or compared, I'm like, you're lying. Like,
Yeah.
No, everybody experiences that. And like,
Yeah.
I think it comes down to I had to really like train my mind to only compare to myself. Like ultimately, you have to keep the blinders on and focus on, okay, what can I do? Like what's in my power? Like do I need to like put in more time practicing? Or like I don't like the way my voice sounded. Okay, I'm going to do extra hours of practicing this week. Like there's a lot that you can control, and I feel like if you start to look outside of you, it's just a downward spiral. So avoid that, put the blinders on and focus on like what's one thing I can do today to make myself better.
Yeah.
You can only compare yourself to yourself.
I love that. That's so true though. And I feel like it's harder, like it's easier said than done, but like it's true that you can only compare yourself to who you were before, and comparing yourself to anyone else is just going to like actually like it's going to counteract what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love that. Okay, so moving on from that, I want to talk a little about like love and dating, and like you've lived in LA for 10 years.
Yeah, almost. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. You moved here when you were 14.
Yes.
So, okay. And this album was inspired by a first love.
Yes.
Do you feel like living in LA and dating in LA has inspired a lot of your music?
I mean, I think definitely. I think it would inspire, boys and love and emotions. Those inspire things everywhere. I think California itself and the city of LA too also just intensifies everything. Like I always say, like I'm in a love-hate relationship with LA.
Totally.
Like I can't. So I go back and forth from here to Nashville if I'm writing or working with people, and I'm like, once you live in LA, it's so like I can't even describe it to people who have never lived here. But I'm like, that is truly like the one toxic relationship in my life is Los Angeles.
It's like a toxic situation.
Yeah, I hate it. I love it. But ultimately, I'm like, that inspires me so much. The city does, which then, transfers over into like how other boys or dating makes me feel. So it kind of like goes together, because it's very easy to feel romanticized here.
Yes.
It's beautiful. There's lights. There's things happening all the time. You have the beach. You have sunsets that sometimes it can like cloud your judgment,
Yeah. Do you think dating in LA is difficult? I know a lot of the time you hear like things about, LA is one of the hardest cities to date in, or, stuff like that. Do you find it to be like difficult to date here or to like find love here? Or do you think it's like kind of the same wherever you are geographically?
I think it's the same wherever you are. I think why people say that they have a hard time dating in LA is because people are not being themselves.
So true.
Yeah, you have to be yourself.
So
and so
true.
it's easier, yes, in small towns or something where, maybe you've grown up with everybody so they know who you are. You
So
can't,
true.
if you are not yourself, of course you're not finding your person because you're not yourself. So even if you get into a relationship, you're going to be like, they don't know me, they don't understand me. And it's like, well, yeah, because you never like let yourself be seen like that.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like you have to be willing to like let yourself be seen.
That's a good take. I really like that because I feel like LA gets a lot of shit, and I'm like, I think it's
Also, I will say this too, like there is more people here. Like I'm somebody where I love a lot of different types of people, and in smaller cities, even in Nashville, there's just less people. Like statistically, you have less people per square footage. That here it's like you have so many people in every industry from all walks of life. So there is a lot more like options here.
Yeah, that's true. Are you dating anyone right now?
I mean, I'm just going on dates. I
Yeah,
always
casually,
say,
like-
people hate it when I say this, but I'm always like, oh, I'm like single until there's a ring on my finger.
That's true, girl. I love it. Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's the whole point. I'm like, you either break up or you get married. So I'm
It's
like,
true.
if that person comes into your life, I'll never be like seeking it because I'm gonna be doing
your thing.
doing what I was made to do, what God put me on this earth to do, and the right person will find me at that process, and we'll be growing together.
You're gonna find your Travis.
Yeah.
He'll be at one of your concerts,
Yeah,
right?
be a fan.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, but it's like I think that's like an important thing for people to realize, especially for like young girls. Like I feel lucky that I feel like I'm like the youngest out of all my friends here, and so I get to learn from them. I get to learn from them, and I'm always just like, so I'm so grateful for all their wisdom because it saved me a lot because I realized that even some of my friends around my age, like they had a relationship with somebody and it kind of like stalled their career, or they realized only once they got out of it that it was making them kind of be stagnant, or they didn't pursue that project that they wanted to pursue and they were talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can always get back to it. But it's like, once again, we don't know how long life is. So you don't want to wait. And if you're dating somebody and they make you feel like you have to diminish yourself or like dim yourself, that's not your person. I don't care how much you love them. That's not your person.
It's not your person.
Yeah.
Do you ever find like inspiration for your music within your friends' relationships and like dating life?
Not really, because it's really hard to.
Because it's not personal.
It's like maybe one day I'll do a concept album of something where it'd be like, okay, I'm going to tell this story or this book. Yeah. But for my stuff now, not really, because it's hard to write. It's hard to write from a place that's inauthentic.
Yeah.
Like I can see something and be like, oh my gosh, I can watch a movie or something and be like, oh my God, that is just like what I'm going through right now. And then I can like pull from that. But it's really difficult to authentically.
Yeah.
In terms of like songwriting, and I guess how I songwrite, where it's very like natural, and then once I get the emotions out, then I go into like mathematical mode.
Okay. I like that. We're getting a little insight into the process.
Yes.
So fun. Okay. So I feel like your music probably reflects a lot of your real life dating life, right?
Yes.
Especially since this album, it's about a first love. Was this first love out of LA?
Yeah. I mean, there's 3 boys that are like the songs are about.
So there's 3 of them. I love it. So fun. I love it. So 3 boys inspired this album.
Yeah.
3 boys inspired the album. And okay, who inspired Cinematic? Was that about one specific person?
That was about one boy, yeah.
I mean, I love that song. And it really is so cinematic sounding. He's heard the song?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what did he say? Were you like, hey, I wrote this song about you?
But there's a lot of songs that have been written about him, but it's one of those where like, it's so interesting to me because this is something I've noticed. I have feelings for somebody when I'm able to write about them.
Interesting.
There's been people I'm like, okay, it's great, but I'm like, you're not making me feel anything.
He's a muse then.
Yeah.
He's a total muse. And is it like one of those people that, have you dated people since him and like you still write songs about him?
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a very much I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like, yeah, I can't. It's something where you don't get the choice. Like, you don't get the choice. It's like, okay, this person, it's just literally like,
yeah,
whatever. It's a line that, you're going through something similar, or they're making you feel emotions, and then, yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. What did he think of the song? Did he love it?
Yeah.
Was he like so flattered that like this beautiful song was about
but
him?
he has songs about him that are like not so nice.
Oh, I love that little revenge song too.
But it's also too, it's like, no, it's like, okay, that's emotions. And ultimately I realized this because I used to be so embarrassed. I used to never talk about my feelings. That's why I became a songwriter.
That's so interesting.
No, vulnerability is your superpower.
It really is.
It is a superpower.
It really
like,
is.
You being vulnerable and like, obviously you do not want to like let people walk over you, or you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be a doormat.
No.
But being vulnerable, especially as a woman, and like having your emotions, like that's a gift. And nobody can take that away from you. You allow them, you give them that energy, but that energy is yours. So you need to like decide when you draw the line. But like that's a superpower. Don't be like so concerned with being like, oh, I have to have no feelings. I have to be like the cool girl. It's like, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I've tried it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you from experience. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And also too, it's like, I love having emotions. I love cry. I love feeling things. I think it's so beautiful. And like, we're so lucky to be able to feel things and experience life and experience like I said, the lower the lows, the higher the highs.
Yeah.
And so like lean into that. Don't feel like you have to be like stone cold and like cool. It's like, let yourself feel things. Even if you maybe don't show that to the people you're dating, like journal about it or gossip with your friends. Like let yourself feel those emotions and like revel in it, because there's going to be a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I miss those days. Like, you're going to be happily married, or you're going to be in a happy relationship, and you're going to be like, yes, I'm so thankful where I am, but all of the craziness of the past is what makes you so grateful for what you have now.
Yeah. That's true, though.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. Have you ever dated another artist?
No, not like I've dated other people that are creative. I do think I will have to be with somebody who's creative.
I feel like you definitely do.
Who understands like the creativity behind it.
Yeah.
Or at least understands, because it's like they have to understand at least the industry side of things.
Yeah.
But not anybody else that's an artist. I have always heard that, you know, in relationships you need like a rock and a balloon. And yes, they can switch out at different times, but like one person has to be the rock, one person has to be the balloon. Like if both people want to be the star, it's not going to work.
I love that. I've never heard that, but I really love it. That's a good one.
Like, because you can tell, because like some people I'm like, okay, you never liked me, you just wanted to be me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
That's a good one, though. I really like that. It's okay. You've never dated another artist. Have you ever mixed with like business and pleasure? Like, have you ever dated like someone that you wrote with or produced a song or anything like that?
No, because it's like my safe space.
Yeah.
It's like my safe space. And like, it's too, like, that would be weird for me too. I don't know, because I really like, it takes away the safe space that you have. Like music is that safe.
It would disrupt your peace.
Yeah. And I'm also too, it's like I feel like my producers are married with kids, like loving
that's
it.
an issue.
They always get me dating advice. They're like one of my producers, I remember telling him about one of these boys, and he was telling me, I was like, oh my gosh, like what do you think of this? And he was telling me like when I was in college, and I was telling, he was just like, and I'm like, okay, I love this. Like I get my wisdom. I'm having I get like good perspectives on things. And like, so it's kind of nice. Like I love kind of, you know, having that. They look out for me, so that's good.
I love that. That's adorable. Are they like your unofficial shrinks? Like, are you in there like producing music and writing, and you're like, oh my gosh, like venting to them?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah. It's always very, but also too, it's like dating has changed so much.
So much.
Because of like social media, like technology, ChatGPT, like people
nuts.
are falling in love with their chat, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's
what's
really
going on?
crazy. Like people are going to be dating robots in the next 20 years or something. It's scary. Remember the movie? You don't
Wall-E?
probably remember. No, Smart House. You're probably too young.
No, you
remember it?
DCOM.
Yeah.
Disney Channel original movie. I was the last generation to grow up without phones. Like my first phone was not an iPhone.
Me either.
It was
an
an LG
so you get it.
Green slider flip phone. It's great.
My gosh.
I miss those
Easier
days.
times when you couldn't even like text without like typing the same thing.
I know. And you had the three. Yeah. It's just like
Easier times.
But it's also too, it's like all of this technology is supposed to make our life easier, which it does. But like if you incorporate it and you don't become dependent on it.
Right. Don't let it consume you.
Yes. Just don't become like dependent. Like still learn. I'm like, ChatGPT can be great for things when you're like, oh, I want to make sure I have no spelling errors. But like you should be able to write something without ChatGPT. Yeah. Like it can be used as a tool.
Exactly.
But don't let it like take over your life. Yeah.
Don't let it become you, and like you're no longer who you are. It's crazy.
Well, it's like the movie Her.
Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly.
That's coming true. And like I always think about Wall-E, where like people are in their little things, and they like
crazy.
They're like walking with their friend, but they're just like riding around the little like race car track together. I'm like, that's happening.
It's like literally crazy. It's insane. We're evolving in insane ways. Okay, so moving on from loving and dating, I kind of just want to like talk about you as Lily Kincade.
Okay.
So you're from Kansas City.
Yes.
You lived here for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So how did you get started in music?
I was always writing. So I started piano lessons when I was in kindergarten.
Oh my gosh.
I was always I loved music. Well, my dad wanted me to do sports, of course, as every dad. You know, especially too when it's just me, like he wanted to be a coach and stuff. And so when I was younger, I would do all the sports. You know, my dad was like the assistant coach. I would do soccer, and I started doing like cartwheels on the fields.
I can't even picture you doing sports like with your beautiful purple sparkly eyeshadow right now, and like your green dress and heels. Like, No.
Yeah, so I started doing cartwheels on the field, and they're like, we got to
like,
put this
"She's
girl in
off the
dance.
team."
She's off the team. So I started taking dance classes, and I loved it just because I love like that's also, I grew up listening to Lana Del Rey because I remember this. Like, it's so weird. And my dad sent me a screenshot of like the iTunes purchase back when there was no streaming. You had to like buy each song.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had really heard Lana Del Rey I was in like a contemporary dance class, and it was Diet Mountain Dew. We did a routine to it. And so I love
it.
like I was always dancing, and I love like rhythm. And I think that like I love the way that I think rhythm is very important too, at least for me as a writer, because like different beats can make you feel different emotions.
For sure.
But I was always dancing. I was always doing everything I could. I did a lot of theater when I was younger. I did some operas.
Wow.
I was just doing I was doing everything I could in Kansas. That's why I was like, okay, eventually, once I'm graduate high school or whenever I can, I'm going to move to LA. And I'm going to
did it.
Right. And I did it. But when I think I was 10 or 11, I got a guitar. I still have it. It's like hanging up at my house. But I got a guitar and started doing guitar lessons, and then started writing on there, and then just kept going.
Yeah.
And was like, yes, there's other, like, I have a lot of other things I could do and pursue, but it was almost as if like I said, you don't have the choice. You have to, you make the choice to pursue it, but like,
it's in you.
it was in me. And so it's like,
bones.
do I want to live with being like, well, I could have done that, or I wonder what would have happened if I really pursued that, or do I just want to do it? And then, okay, if I fail, or if I don't like it, or if I don't want to do it forever, then I can just do something else. And I was like, I would rather try than not try.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh. You're such an artist. I couldn't see you being anything else. But let me ask you, if you weren't an artist, what do you think you'd be?
Well, I have other businesses and things too that I do.
You do? Can you talk about them with us?
Yes. Well, I have a faith-based business. It's called All Your Heart Company.
Aww,
and so it's, I'm a very crafty person. Like when I was little, I was digging through, and my childhood best friends, like parents will like tell this story all the time. I would literally go through their recycle bins. They would let me like go through because I loved making duct tape purses. Like I had a whole business.
That is so cool.
And I would make elaborate purses, and like with all these cardboard boxes. Like I was always like doing something. I was always being very like inventive. I had a dog walking business when I first moved to LA.
Wow.
Because I was doing online school, and I was like, I can't drive yet. So unless I was like going to an audition or going to class or training, I was just at home, and I would get all my school done fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So I was like, period, I'm going to get my steps in, get my 10,000 steps in, and I'm going to make money. And so I started a whole dog walking business, and I love dogs. But I just love getting able to, I think I do have a business mindset. Yeah. Which is very helpful. Like, my parents have always instilled a problem solver mindset in me.
That's great.
And my second grade teacher, Mrs. Boncher, she's my favorite teacher ever. My childhood piano was at her house in Kansas City. Like, she taught me how to play chess, but she's the one, I say this affirmation all the time on my social medias, and it's, today is a wonderful day. I'm confident because I am a problem solver. I always have options because I choose to be optimistic. Today I will learn something new, laugh, and make a difference in someone else's life. And she's the one who made everybody in her second grade class say that every single morning. Wow. And so then she passed it on to me to share with people. But it was like, if you want to do something, like figure out a way. Yeah. And I feel lucky that I had people around me. Like, my parents are not in music. Like, they're like, where did you get this talent from? Like, neither one of them is musical at all. But, they've been very supportive of like, you can do it. Like, you can figure out a way. And so that's kind of, I've just been figuring it out as I go along.
And you're doing it, girl.
Yeah, no one knows what they're doing, too. Like, everybody has got to get out of that. No one knows what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. You just say yes and figure it out.
No one. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Wow. I love that. Your second grade teacher, she made an impact on you.
That's my favorite school year. That's my favorite year of school.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's so cute. So, okay, with that, so your music's coming out October 24th.
Yes.
What do you want your fans to get out of the album, like overall?
I just want them to make memories to it, to have it be part of their lives. And I've been releasing the singles since the end of last summer. So I did 7 singles and then just kind of building up for it. And then there's 7 new songs on the album that are coming out. But I always say, like, my favorite thing in the world is like getting letters from fans or getting messages. Like, I have 2 in my purse that I like carry because I love reading them.
Oh my gosh, that's
not
so
in a weird way,
cute.
but I just love I just love reading them because truly it's like I think about my favorite artist and like the role models I look up to, and I think about how they helped me through a season or they helped me through a breakup. I felt less alone, or like gave me encouragement, or like I would listen to the song when I needed confidence
100%.
to do something, and how that changed me and became a part of my life. And so I just hope that my songs can become that for people. And I love getting letters and DMs with people being like, I went through a breakup and this song helped me get over them, or like this song made me cry and then I could finally get over him, or I could finally feel this. And like, see, that's what I love. I'm like, I just want them to like put them into their own lives.
Yeah. It's like you wrote the music almost as like therapeutic for yourself, and now you're giving it as a gift to other people. I really love that. That's so cool. And like that's a perfect example of like someone using their gift for good. You know what I mean? Which is so cool. So okay, let me tell you, actually, I'm going to tell you my favorite songs on the album, because like now that we're here sitting, I feel like after all this time of like going back and forth on Instagram, right? Okay, wait, let me see. Okay, I love Cinematic. I would say that, and
I love like we said, movies, old Hollywood. And so I'm working on making like a script. Well, I wrote a whole script. And so like the lyric videos I made, like all the visuals you see, I made them. The music video, everything I did myself. And my dad, who like, I'll have friends who are not photographers, and I'm like, I could not have done this without my friends. And like my dad shot the album cover. Like I was like, stand here.
Cool.
He's getting really good. He knows how to do Super 8 now. He knows how to do the Polaroid. He knows how to do the film. But I always say like, just get creative and do it. But I wrote everything out like a script format, because I was like, okay, I want to have that visual, but I'm working on making...
I think I saw that on your social media.
I'm working on making a book, because I love like... I was super inspired by, you know, the Sofia Coppola archive book?
Yes.
That book, and then Lana Del Rey's poetry book are like the visions I'm going for, because I wanted to... I'm a crazy sentimental person, and I have like thousands of Polaroids, thousands of lyric sheets, scans of my journals, all this behind the scenes stuff. I made makeup face charts, like a makeup look for every song.
Wow.
But I'm going to put everything... Instead of like movie by movie, it's going to be song by song in like this book that I'm making.
That
with
is
the
very
lyrics.
cool.
So like that's kind of what I've been working on right now till October.
That is so cool. I feel like I'm getting like a sneak peek into all the like fun stuff you're doing. My favorite songs though, they were Cinematic and 405. Obsessed.
I love it.
And like just like emulates, like it's just like such a good like description and imagery of LA too. 405. You know what I mean?
That song, okay, that's the very first song that I wrote for the album. I wrote that on, it's crazy because that song was like, sometimes you go into a session or you sit down and you write a whole song in an hour, 30, whatever it may be. 405 was interesting though, because I remember, I think I had a session with two other people. One of them got sick. So it was just me and one person. And I had just gone back from LA, you know, went through a lot in LA, and I was like, okay, I want to write this song. And I love La La Land. Like that's one of my favorite movies.
Great movie.
And I'm like, oh, I just love
classic.
It just that whenever I'm like hating LA, I'm like, I just watched that movie and I'm like, oh no, I love it here.
You're like, I'm gonna find my Ryan Gosling.
Yes, no, I love it. Just like the color, just everything about that movie. Love. And even the soundtrack. Like I'll just listen to that soundtrack and be like, oh my gosh, I love it. But I was like, I want to write a song that feels like the opening scene of that. And then I loved like the Great Gatsby movie.
Totally.
The party scene of that. So I was like, okay, I want to write a song that feels like that. And looking back now, I'm like, no wonder why Cinematic naturally came to be. That's the first song I wrote. And in my head, I was thinking of movies that I wanted the song to like feel like.
And that was it.
And it's crazy because I started writing that song April 5th, 2021. It was called 405 because of the freeway, but it was like actually 405, like April 5th. So it's just crazy.
Cute.
Yeah. And then I thought the last song that I wrote was going to be the opener track 1, Behind the Scenes. But then I ended up writing a song at the end of last summer, Try to Run. And I was like, no, this is so good. This has got to go on the album. So
that's so, oh my gosh, how fun. You like love what you do too, which I love it. You're like so passionate
it's so crazy to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, it literally didn't exist.
That is so cool though. How fun. What a fun project. Can I play a little piece of it?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay, see, this is why you're an independent
artist. I own all the rights to it. Yes, period.
I was just about to say, that's so funny. Okay, should I play Cinematics? I think Cinematic we should play first, right?
Yes.
Okay, wait, let me see how I can do this on my phone.
And you know what's crazy too? One more point. So I'm a journaler.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone, I'm like, journal. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you. If someone comes to me with their problems, I'm like, do you journal?
Yeah.
And if they say no, I'm like, you need to get a journal. Go to Dollar Tree, go to Michael's, get a journal and write, because journaling changed my life. I started journaling, had a best friend tell me to journal. I'd always wanted to be a journal girl my entire life.
And
I was like,
it.
well, no, I could never do it. I would do it for a week and then I would stop. And then she was like, no, like put pictures in there, like make it more like a scrapbook. And for some reason, my brain clicked and was like, yes, that was all I needed. So I'll like put concert tickets, or I'll cut up pictures of like make mood boards in my journal. But I started going through my journals just to see, because I now have 5.5 years of journals. And I found some from 2020 talking about how like one day when I make an album, like a full album, I want it to be like called something about like the cinematic experience. Like I found that. So like it was lingering in my subconscious for so long that it's just crazy. Like that's why everyone should journal.
You really do. If you have good stories, like you know, I love that.
I know.
So
it's just crazy. I'm like, one day I'm gonna look back when I write my memoir one day and go through all of my journals because I'm like, I wish I would have started sooner, but I'm like, I have details, like day by day in crazy amount of details.
Wow.
Everything in my life.
I love that. I love it. That is so cool. I'm so here. I'm going to play cinematic.
Yeah.
Wait, should I start it over?
Oh, yeah.
How do I start it over?
There we
Let's
go.
see. Okay, wait. There was behind the scenes again. I'll just play like a little clip.
Scene one, our story unfolds. In no time at all, we were walking down the yellow brick road. Scene two, spend the night with you. Tried to play it cool, then my clothes were in the corner of your room. Kept saying we were young.
I love this.
It's so good.
I don't want to play too much of it. I don't want to give too much of it away. How do I stop it? Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that
Little
405.
preview.
A little preview.
It's just
oh my
so
gosh.
fun. Like music to me is so fun because I'm like, I don't know, it's just so cool because like I said, I love journals. I love photographs. And I think the ultimate version of sentimentality is like music. Like
It really is.
because I'm like, okay, if I lose everything, if my house gets flooded and then I don't have my journals anymore, well, I have my songs that are like
music.
Yeah, and
It's a
I'm
part
like,
of who you are.
I can close my eyes and listen and like, yes, I relate songs to different emotions, obviously, but I will always remember like the time that I wrote it or the time that I first, had the idea for a song and like who it was about, even if I'm not, those emotions like aren't active, like I can still like remember that. And it's so cool because it's like a specific moment in time.
Oh my gosh. I love just like your whole outlook on life. I'm so excited for this album. I can't wait for it to be like out in the world.
I know. I'm so excited.
I can't wait for everyone to hear it. So tell everyone where they can follow you and where they can find your music.
You can follow me everywhere. The main place is my website, lilykincade.com. And then from there, you have everything. So you have, TikTok, you have Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat. I'm everywhere because I was like, you know what? There's no excuses for people not to become a Kincadian. I'm on every platform, Apple Music, Spotify, all the things, Lily Kincade. But my website is probably the best place. You can sign up, be an OG Kincadian, because once the album comes out, you'll no longer be an OG Kincadian. So you got to get on that train
my
first
gosh,
before the
yes.
debut era.
You got to be like, you got to be that fan that was like,
bragging rights.
yes, you have to be that fan that like 5 years from now is like, I was listening to her when she came out with her cinematic album. I'm like an original Kincadian.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, it's always crazy too, because it's like you see, I don't know, like it's so crazy because it's like when you're going after your dreams, I feel like the thing is it's like big goals or when you're doing something kind of atypical or scary, it's like things will snowball.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, be very present and be appreciative now because like there's going to be a day where you are wishing that you had like 5 minutes to just relax. Like I know eventually like all that stuff will happen. So I'm just doing the best that I can to prepare now and get everything aligned. Even with like my website, like I coded it all myself and like designed it all. Cause I was like, well, when TikTok was going to go away or it went away, right, for like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. So you know what? I don't want to lose any of my Kincadians. So I was like, period, I'm going to go make the website, watch some YouTube tutorials.
Good for
and
you.
You just got to do it. Yeah.
You are driven. You are a girl of all trades. I love it. Keep
Yeah.
it up, girl. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
Well, I'm so excited for your album. I'm so excited that you got to come hang out
this
and
was
chat.
perfect. This
was perfect.
was so needed. I feel like it was just needed.
It was therapeutic. We needed this. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being here October 24th.
Cinematic.
Right? Everyone, October 24th, you better go download. Download? Is that what we say now?
Yeah,
Download, stream,
it. Download.
Stream. I don't know the words
Love
anymore.
it. Share it. Become an OG Kincadian. And if you did find me because of this podcast, you can DM me on Instagram.
Yes.
That you found me from here.
I know. I'm a Kincadian. I feel like
You're
I'm a Kincadian.
Kincadian, yeah.
Now. I love it. I'm an OG.
OG.
Okay? I'm
OG.
Here for the cinematic. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. And we'll see you next week.